When you've reached the very top of Mount Everest, the highest peak in the world, what do you see? According to those who have summited the mountain, the top of the world is actually cluttered. Victor Vess, who summited in 2010, noted in a Quora post that there's a little jumble of stuff and snow that marks the actual summit, and it's only gotten more crowded since then. First, the summit is covered in prayer flags, which are placed as a way to show respect for the mountain and to pray for the climber's safety. Climbers also often leave behind equipment they no longer need, like oxygen tanks, climbing gear, and even food and drink packaging. There's also a small metal plaque that commemorates the first ascent by Edmund Hillary in Tenzing Norgay in 1953. Fortunately, there are ongoing cleanup efforts by several organizations to tidy up the mountain. Have you ever wondered how big Mount Everest's summit actually is? According to Fergus White, who summited Everest and wrote the book Ascent into Hell, approaching from the southeast ridge, it's uphill to the last step. Then the last 4 paces are on a smooth, snow-covered surface several meters wide. You can stand there. The very, very tip of the mountain has a mound just under a meter high, 3 meters long, and a meter wide. 1 meter is about 3.3 feet. It's covered in snow and prayer flags, and behind it is a straight-down drop. White says that Sherpas reserve the absolute tip for the gods. Here's White's friend with his elbow at that mound. Though White's memory is understandably hazy, he was oxygen deprived after all. He says he remembers the top being around 269 square feet. If this was represented by a square room, the room would be about 16.4 feet by 16.4. It's also the exact size of this tiny house, square footage-wise at least. What is the actual view from the top of the world? A man named Fergus White, who summited Everest and wrote the book Ascent into Hell, did a fascinating photo breakdown on Quora, of all places. The photos were all taken while White sat on the summit around 7 a.m. Here's the view looking south. That's Lhotse, the 4th highest mountain in the world. The ridge where the bright and shaded area meet is the border between the Tibet region of China and Nepal, with Nepal on the right side. Looking east, you can see Himalayan peaks in Tibet, and here's the view looking west. This photo shows White's friend 5 paces from the summit approaching along the southeast ridge, and it was taken by a photographer who was at the very, very top. There's a steep drop down on all sides. Most people only spend a few minutes at the summit because they have to stay so focused on getting themselves safely back down.